What educational training did you undertake and where to get into your job?
Well, I didn't take any particular training at all. It's just my family's been in hardware for 100 years in Melbourne, and when I went farming in 1970, the farming job was so bad that I had to do something to try and get my income up, so we started supplying farmers with drenches and farm materials, and it eventually came into, we went into getting some building materials. Finally I bought out the hardware store in Mansfield and started to expand from there. So I didn't do any formal education as far as the job's concerned. It's just a matter of learning on the job. The first couple of years I think I made a pretty fair mess of it, but we've sort of gained as we went. So the answer is no formal education as far as the job's concerned, and it's a matter of going to the University of Life, I guess.
What do you do on an average day of work?
How many hours, you mean? What do I do?
Yeah.
Well, I've done everything from when we first started in 1970. I've done everything from buying the stock to putting it away to serving people, to everything that's involved in running a hardware store. Nowadays, of course, I'm semi-retired, so I really only do management type work, sit at my desk, write letters, and try and keep the show running on an even keel.
What are the pros and cons of the job, the tops and bottoms?
Well, I guess the economy affects this job a lot. If things are going well and the building industry is flourishing, well then we flourish. When the economy turns down and the housing industry turns down, we follow it. So I guess that's the top and the bottom as far as the economics of it are concerned. The other types of things you've got to always bear in mind are the vagaries of employing a lot of people. That always causes us, in some cases, a lot of stress and disappointments. That would be one of the hardest parts of operating a business like this, trying to keep employment happy, trying to keep the show rolling in that respect, and getting good and reliable people to come and help us. I would think that's the most difficult part of the whole thing. And then of course you've got to be able to know what sort of stock to put on the shelves, what's going to sell, what people want, and then of course you've got to make sure that you don't run out of stock, because people don't like coming in here to buy something and it's not on the shelf. So you've got those sorts of things to consider. So I guess if you put them together, you can find the ups and the downs of the business.
What are future pathways for you or someone else here?
Well, future pathways is always, of course, expansion. I think it's generally recognised unless the business is growing, it's usually going backwards. So you're trying to grow the business. You're always looking for opportunities that might arise. Now, whether those opportunities arise in the sale of another business that you might be able to take over and expand there, that's one area. Or to getting into different areas of merchandising, different products, that's another area you can look at. You can think of different ways to market stuff, such as putting representatives on the road going around selling to wider areas of territory. There are a number of different ways you can expand and go forward. But it's an important thing in a business like this to keep going forward, because as I said before, if you're not going forward, and this applies to any business, if you're not going forward, you're generally speaking going backwards. So it keeps everyone happy. Management teams are happy looking, trying to find new ways of things. The staff are excited by new ventures, and it gets them going too. So it's just generally speaking a good way to go.